بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أفضل الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. Alhamdulillah, we're going to start a new book today dealing with the 4 principles of Shirk by Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab rahimahullah, with the explanation of Shaykh Fawzaan hafidhahullah ta'ala. Because the issue of exactly what Shirk is, it helps you understand exactly what Tawheed is. You have to understand the principles of it. And the way that, inshallah, we're going to try to approach it from a conceptual understanding, not necessarily using a lot of terminologies, because terminologies are not hujjah in Islam, they're not proof. The issue is the concept itself. Terminologies change from here to here. Scholars use different terminologies for different things. So what we want to do is we want to try to get the concept down. Exactly what Shirk is conceptually and what Tawheed is conceptually, because it has to be understood that way. You have to understand concepts and how things are understood. And he says, Shaykh Muhammad Abdul Wahhab rahimahullah, أسأل الله الكريم رب العرش العظيم أن يتولاك في الدنيا وآخرة وأن يجعلك مباركا أينما كنت وأن يجعلك ممن إذا أعطي شكر إذا ابتلي صبر وإذا أذنب استغفر فإن هؤلاء الثلاثة عنوان السعادة. And he says, Muhammad Wahhab, he said, I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the generous, the Lord of the great throne, that he aid you and assist you in this life and the next. That he makes you one of those who are blessed wherever they may be. And that he bless you wherever you may be. That he makes you from those who, when they are given, they give thanks. And those, when they are tested, they are patient. And those, when they sin, make a mistake, they seek forgiveness and ask for forgiveness. And this is the 3 signs of someone who is from those who are happy. This is from the 3 signs of happiness. And Shaykh Fawzaan, hafidhahullah, he's going to go in now to explaining this issue. He says, إذا تولاه الله في الدنيا وآخرة فإنه لا سبيل إلا مقاريح أن تصل إليه ولا في دينه ولا في دنياه. وقال تعالى الله ولي الذين آمنوا يخرجهم من الظلمات إلى النور والذين كافروا أولياؤهم الطاغوت. Surah Al-Baqarah. And he says that if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala assists to aid his slave in this life and the next, then there'll be no way for the things that are hated by this slave to reach him. It doesn't mean he's not going to be tested. He's saying in his deen or in his dunya, things that will destroy him. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he says, and Allah is the protector for those who believe, and he brings them out of darknesses to light, brings them out of darknesses of disbelief, polytheism, sin and transgression, to the light of Islam, pure Islam according to the Quran and the Sunnah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and how the Sahaba understood it. Because something can have Islam on and still be from the dhulumat, from the darkness, like Sufiya, Shia, Qadariyya, these type of different sects and groups. And what we have today from the Khawarij, even though they're Muslims, they're still in what? Darknesses. Because only one light. That's the Sunnah of Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, how the Sahaba understood it. وَالَّذِينَ كَافَرُوا أَوْلِيَاءُهُمُ الطَّاغُوتُ. And for those who disbelieve, they are the awliya, or they're of the Taghut. And the Taghut is aiding, assisting them, and Taghut is shaitan, and anything worship other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. إِذَا تَوَلَّاكَ اللَّهُ أَخْرَجَكَ مِنْ ظُلُمَاتِ. الظُّلُمَاتُ الشِّرْكِ وَالْكُفْرِ. As we said, that the dhulumat here is disbelief and polytheism. And then after that comes sins. So if you see an individual who's not a Muslim, know that he's in dhulumat. There's no way that somebody who's not Muslim is not in darkness. If you find somebody that's a Muslim and he's not upon the Sunnah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he's part of some sect or some group, know for certain that he's upon some darkness. There's only one type of light, And that's the sunnah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I don't care if they wrap it up and put it in the package. It says Islam all over the package. If it's not the sunnah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then it's from the darknesses. And he says that those who believe, ila nur iman wa ilm nafi wa amal salih. But the person who Allah aids and assists in this life, you will see him upon the light of faith, knowledge, beneficial knowledge, and doing righteous actions. If you want to see somebody who's upon light, all you have to do is see how he understands Islam, the knowledge that he's upon, and you see him doing righteous actions. This individual, you can look and clearly see this individual upon light that Shaykh Fawzaan is bringing. And he brings the ayah. He says, ذَلِكَ بِأَنَّ اللَّهَ مَوْلَى الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَأَنَّ الْكَافِرِينَ لَا مَوْلَى لَهُمْ. And he says in Surah Muhammad, that verily Allah is the what? The protector. He is one who assists and aids those who believe. And for those who disbelieve, there's no one like that for them. There's no one like that for them. Okay, so don't look and be shocked by jets and tanks and all this stuff like that. That doesn't mean that Allah is Mawla lahu. A person who believes and has the correct aqidah, and upon the sunnah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, even if he has a rock in his hand, Allah is his Mawla. Allah is his protector. Allah is with him. إذا تولاك الله برعايته وتوفيقه وهدايته في الدنيا وفي الآخرة فإنك تسعد سعادة لا شقى لها بعدها أبدا. في الدنيا يتولاك بالهداية والتوفيق والسير على المنهج السليم. في الآخرة يتولاك بأن يدخلك الجنة خالدا مخلدا فيها لا خوف ولا مرض ولا شقاء ولا قبر ولا مقارح. وهذه ولاية لله للعبده المؤمن في الدنيا والآخرة. And he said, if when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala aids and supports his slave, with his watching over him and handling his affairs in success, and success, true success, is being guided to Islam in this life, the sunnah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, not how much money you have. True success is the correct aqeedah, even if you sleep on the floor, even if you sleep in your car. True success is being upon the correct understanding of Islam in this life and in the hereafter. And how does Allah guide you in this life? To Islam, correct Islam. And the next, where you guide it? To Jannah. And Shaykh Fawzaan is going to bring it all together. He said, for verily a person is upon happiness, not misery, but evident. If a person is correct Islam in this life, and he's guided to Jannah in the next, he's not miserable after that. And he won't be misery in this life. If he has the correct understanding of Islam, no matter what's going on, he won't have misery in this life. And he says that a person will be aided to be on the correct manhaj, that is correct. And how does Allah aid you in the next life? By entering into Jannah forever, which is no fear, no sickness, no misery, no getting old, nothing that you hate. And this is Allah aiding and Allah assisting his slave, the believer, in this life and the next. This is true success. Now, how much money you got in the bank account? Your best car you got. Who got the best stove? That's not. Because Umar al-Khattab, when the Persians dropped their crowns in front of him, he had holes in his clothes. Didn't have any shoes on neither. But Allah opened up the dunya for him. And they was able to spread Islam everywhere. وَأَنْ يَجْعَلَكَ مُبَارَكَ أَيْنَمَا كُنْتَ. And he said that Allah will make you from those wherever they go, they are blessed. Shaykh Fawzaan said, إِذَا جَعَلَكَ اللَّهُ مُبَارَكَ أَيْنَمَا كُنْتَ فَهَذَا هُوَ غَايَةُ الْمُطَالِبِ يَجْعَلَ اللَّهُ بَرَكَةَ فِي أُمْرِكَ وَيَجْعَلُ بَرَكَةَ فِي رِزْقِكَ وَيَجْعَلَ الْبَرَكَةَ فِي عَمَلِكَ وَيَجْعَلَ الْبَرَكَةَ في علمك وَيَجْعَلَ الْبَرَكَةَ فِي عَمَلِكَ وَيَجْعَلَ الْبَرَكَةَ فِي ذُرِّيَّتِكَ أَيْنَمَا كُنْتَ. And he says that a person to be blessed wherever you may be, this is the whole point. This is one of the greatest points that you can have. This is the greatest goal. This is what's sought after. And he says, because and the law makes you blessed in your age. You live 80 years fasting, praying, upon the correct aqidah, teaching your kids the correct way. Your whole life was that. From the time Allah guided you to Islam, to the time you left this earth. Your whole life was sunnah. Could you imagine living like that? Get 80 years of fasting and praying, standing up in the middle of the night, making hajj. Who knows how many times you can make hajj in 80 years? If Allah allows that. Allah, you get barakah in your whole life. And he says, Shaykh Fawzaan, that Allah puts barakah in your wealth. In your wealth. It's funny because it doesn't matter where you are. People say this is the place of milk and honey. But I was in third world countries and lived better. The barakah was better. The money went farther. And it felt better. It felt more like it was more blessed. Not saying that Allah provides for everybody everywhere. But you may be here and you're running a rat race. It doesn't seem like there's any barakah in your wealth. Sometimes that happens. Or a person can be working and not have that much money, but for some reason every month he survives. That little bit of money seems that it's paying everything. I don't know how that works, but Allah knows how it works. But we don't. I don't know how paper stretches. But Allah is able to do everything. He stretches it. I don't know, because when you see your check in your hand, you're trying to figure out how you're getting through the month. When you see that check, I don't know how I'm doing this. But it works out. Then he says that Allah blesses you in your knowledge. Imagine being in a situation where all you can do is learn. Allah put a free Islamic library in one of the worst cities in America. The Muslims take advantage of it. This is one of the worst cities in the United States of America. It has an Islamic library in it. In the worst neighborhood in one of the worst cities in America. Take advantage of it. Allah didn't have to do that. Allah didn't have to have that, show that mercy to us and to them, and to the non-Muslims. It's a rahmah for them. And that a person learns, and not just learning, but to learn from the correct manhaj, the correct understanding of Islam. Because really, you don't know what's better, being guided to Islam or the Sunnah and a scholar who could teach you the Sunnah. Allah guides you to Islam, guides you to the Sunnah, guides you to know Arabic. You can pick up the books of the Ahl al-Ilm, the people of Sunnah, and read the books of the people of Sunnah, and teach your children what the people of Sunnah say, even in English. But the fact that Allah guided you to understanding of Islam, and now you can go into the library anywhere, get a book, you know the scholar, you know who he is, you start reading the book, you taking notes, you teach your family, from a scholar that lives thousands of miles away in a Muslim country. You never met him, but you benefit from his knowledge. Your children are benefit from his knowledge. Your kids are saying Sheikh bin Baz, Sheikh Uthaymeen, Sheikh Albani. Your kids are saying that. Passing it. Your grandchildren are going to, they ain't going to teach books. Your grandchildren are going to be like, oh, Sheikh bin Baz, Sheikh Uthaymeen, Sheikh Albani, Sheikh Mukbil, Sheikh Shaykh Fawzaan, Sheikh Ibn Qudama, Ibn Qayyim. This stuff will get passed on. Imagine that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is barakah in your knowledge, and you just pass the knowledge on. And barakah in your actions. How many of us got it to righteous actions? We see Muslims every day. They selling drugs, they doing this. Allah hasn't guided them to righteous actions. But He's guided you to righteous actions. He guided you to get up and pray Fajr. He guided you to get up and pray night prayer. He guided you to fast. Put barakah in your actions. And that Allah wants to accept your actions from you. On top of that, not only did He guide you to it, but He puts you in environments where you increase in those actions, then He accepts it from you, if He wills. You can't get no better than that. And it also shows you the concern that Muhammad Wahab has for people who read his books, too. The fact that this is the introduction. This is not even the 4 principles. We're not even in the 4 principles. This is just the introduction. Right? And then He puts barakah in your children, your duriyah. How many of us, right? We have children, they don't even want to be religious. You got some who do want to be religious. You know, Allah guides whom He wills. But there's some people who, their kids done left Islam, all types of stuff, shit. But imagine you raise even one child upon the Sunnah. They become students of knowledge. Even maybe become a scholar. then they teach people. Thousands of people benefit them. Millions of people may benefit them. And you're great, you get some of that. You get that. So how many of us going to take our time with our children? We're just going to wait and we want to waste them. You can't waste them. Because Allah may bring barakah from them. Barakah from it. Our children may be the ones who guide the Americans to Islam by Allah's permission. We don't know that. Our children may be the ones that these people submit to Islam by Allah's permission through them. We don't know. We don't know. And he says, وَأَنْ يَجْعَلَكَ مِمَّنْ إِذَا عُطِيَ شَكَرًا. That Allah makes you from those when they are given, they are thankful. Shaykh Fawzaan, he says, خَلَافَ الَّذِي إِذَا عُطِيَ كَفَرَ النِّعْمَةِ وَبَطُرِهَا فَإِنَّ كَثِيرًا مِنَ النَّاسِ إِذَا عُطُوا نِعْمَةً كفروها وأنكروها وصرفوها في غير طاعة الله فصارت سببا لشقاوتهم وأما من يشكر فإن الله يزيده. And he says that the one Allah makes him when he is given, he's thankful. Not like the one that when he is given, he disbelieves in the ni'mah that Allah gave him. He's not grateful for it. Because many other people, when they are given a ni'mah, a blessing, something from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they're ungrateful for it. And they use it in other than obedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah give you $1 million. So Allah give me $1 million. I'm building masjid. Now we be in Hawaii. I'm going to build this. I'm going to do this. I mean, as soon as Allah bless me with some wealth, I'm going to make Hajj. I'm going to take brothers with me and everything. As soon as you get the $1 million, you ain't seen Hajj. But in Jamaica. I'm serious. We don't even, because we use what Allah has given us other than obeying Him. Other than obeying Him. We don't want to be like that. We want a person who increases. That when Allah gives us something, it is not just say, oh, thank you, Allah. Like people say, oh, how do I thank Allah? You know, I'm to say thank you, Allah, thank you. No. It's increasement of actions. Doing more. Using what He's given you to worship Him. Not just saying thank you. Like we do to another human being, come give us something. Because a human being, we even do extra for them if they're nice to us. Let somebody be nice to us. He's all the kind words in the world. Clean his house, his car. Let somebody give us some money right now. You know? Somebody give you $5,000 right now. You can make some moves. Man, shoot. You mess around, vacuum his carpet, wash his windows and everything. You be washing his car out. Detailing everything. You don't need not a detail, but you'll figure it out. But when it comes to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we think that if Allah doesn't give us something magnificent, that He's not doing nothing for us. We're tricked by shaitan like that. What about getting up every day? What about having clean clothes? What about eating every day? What about breathing air every day? The air is not smoggy. What about not being on drugs? What about not being an alcoholic? What about being an oppressor? What about, having your means come from the haram? What about that? What about the fact that when you go to sleep at night, you got a roof over your head? We think that'd be something magnificent. Man, Allah, it's no $1 million coming my way, or it's no new car coming my way. That Allah didn't do. Allah's doing something for you all day, every second of the day. And the greatest thing He's doing for you, your aqeedah, inshallah ta'ala, is salima. That you upon tawheed, and that your aqeedah, inshallah, is straight, is correct. What about that? And I'm asking myself first. I'm looking at myself first. Am I grateful for the fact that I was able to be overseas for that long period of time? That I was able to meet scholars and benefit? Or will that benefit pass by me? Or what has you done for me lately? As if that's not the greatest thing that Allah has done for me. But a lot of times we say, what has Allah done for me lately? We're on a Janet Jackson type time. What has He done for me lately? As if Allah is not doing something for you every second, every moment of the day. And he says, Wallahu Jalla wa Ala yazidu shakirin min fadlihi wa ihsanihi. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Jalla wa Ala, that He increases the thankful ones, those who increase in their worship of Allah and their thankfulness to Allah from His generosity and His good towards them. فَإِذَا أَرَدْتَ مَزِيدًا مِنْ نِعْمٍ فَاشْكُرِ اللَّهِ. If a person wants to increase in what Allah has given him from ni'mah and barakah, then let him thank Allah. Get up in the middle of the night. Start fasting at least once a month, twice, 3 times a month, something. Start giving more sadaqah. You don't have nothing to give somebody. Saying a kind word to the prostitute. I ain't giving this nasty prostitute nothing. The Prophet was like that towards the prostitutes? Was he like that towards the people that was downtrodden? Or if you don't have anything, just say, I don't have anything. May Allah bless you. May Allah guide you. Or walk down to the master. I only got his water. I can give you some water. Increase in your good deeds. The Shaykh Fawzaan said, إِذَا أَرَدْتَ زَوَالَ النِّعْمِ فَاكْفَرُوهَا. He said, if a person wants the ni'mah to go away, then be ungrateful for it. And I'll give you an example that we see every day. The Muslims in Philadelphia. There was a time where we had the opportunity in this place to really do some good here. To really do some good. When the people respected us. And walked down the street, you were honored when you walked down the street by the disbelievers. When they seen a Muslim, they felt safe. There was times when they brought their problems to you. Where they would never disrespect a Muslim woman. Allah is removing that from us. Because the kingpins are Muslims. The sisters are disrespecting themselves, but somebody else disrespecting them. We have removed that ni'mah from ourselves. From doing what? Wasn't thanking Allah. We're ungrateful for it. And Allah is removing it slowly. We were talking about this earlier in the library. Allah is removing the safety and the fear and the honor and respect that the disbelievers in America had for us at one time. It's being removed. For the sins and the disobedience and not being grateful for what Allah has given us. We had the opportunity to do wonders here. To guide these people to understanding who their Lord was. But instead we did what? We turned on one another. We turned to violence to one another. We turned our tongues to one another. And left our tongues from shirk and kufr. Our tongues is not being busy with refuting that. It's being busy refuting one another. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has done what? Removed that ni'mah. And He says, إِذَا أُبْتِلِيَ صَبَرًا. And for the one who was tested, he is patient. This is another sign of a happy person. He says, جل وعلا يبتلي عباد يبتليهم بالمصائب ويبتليهم بالمكاره ويبتليهم بالعداء من الكفار والمنافقين فيحتاجون إلى الصبر عدم اليأس وعدم القنوط من رحمة الله ويثبتون على دينهم. And he says that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He'll test the slave with different types of calamities, from things that He hates, and from the enemies of Islam, from those who disbelieve, and the hypocrites. All of this, they need patience and not giving up. And not giving up and turning away from the mercy of Allah, thinking that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not going to give aid to His slave. To believe that is an action and a belief of a kafir. That Allah is not going to aid you. You could be in a worse situation, but Allah is going to aid you. But Allah is going to be what you think Him to be. Allah is going to aid you, but He's going to test you too. People say, why? Who are you that you're not getting tested when the Anbiya were tested? And they were Allah's chosen. We ask ourselves why, as if being Muslim is free. It's free. We think it's free. It's not free. Jannah's not free. The hellfire is not free either. It's the price you want to pay for you don't want to pay. But Jannah's not free. It's not free. Shaykh Fawzaan, he says that a person, when they go through these trials, that they're firm on their religion. They're not shaky. They firm. So we don't get shaky because we have a new president. SubhanAllah. We don't get shaky because laws change. We don't get shaky because this is happening. We don't get shaky because that is happening. Not unless you believe these people or these particular situations have any power, that Allah is not in control of it. Now, that's an Aqidah issue. Now you might have to pick up new knee. I don't know. You might have to get into new knee if you start thinking like that, right? But it's something that Shaykh Muqsim Maluk said to me that made me look at every single musa'ib differently. I don't worry about it that much. Humanly, I feel sadness, obviously, or you feel a little bothered. But he says, Inna Allah khaliqa kulli shay wa huwa kulli shay'in wakil. He said, the ayat in the Quran that verily Allah is the creator of everything, and everything He's the protector of, right? And the Shaykh, he said, and this is after my wife passed away, rahimahullah, the Shaykh, he said that Allah is the creator of everything. Anything, kulli shay, nakira. And linguistically, shay here is not ma'rifah, it's nakira. It's indefinite, so it means everything, right? So anything that's not Allah is created. We understand that part, right? That means the mushkila you're going through, the problem, the calamity, all of that stuff is a created being. It's created. And if it's created, it's controlled. And if it's created, it dies. It goes away. So how can you be worried and be stressed out and lose yourself in something that won't last and is controlled, by the one who loves you? It's controlled by the one who loves you. If we saw, right? If we saw how Allah handled our fears, our hearts would melt in the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If we watched how Allah handled our fears, we could see it happening. If we saw Allah putting things in place, if Allah allowed us to watch it happen, our hearts will melt in the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Shaykh Fawzaan, he says, لا يتزحزون مع فتن أو يستسلمون للفتن بل يثبتون على دينهم ويصبرون على ما يقاسون من أتعاب في سبيلها بخلاف الذين إذا ابتلى جزع تسقط من قنط من رحمة الله فهذا يزاد ابتلاء إلى ابتلاء مصائب إلى مصائب. And he says that they don't shake in trials and tribulations. They don't submit. Meaning when the fitna comes, they don't join it. They don't join the fitna. And we know the fitness is happening to us right now with schisms and cults and hizbs and all that stuff. You don't find a believer shaking. His manhood shouldn't be shaking. He don't shake. His feet is firm. Doesn't matter how many people don't like him. How many people speak out against him? But he stays firm upon the sunnah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And he's patient about the harms that comes, and he gets tired in the path of holding on to the religion of Allah, and he does not like the one who's, when he tested with these affairs, that this individual, he turns into what? Complaining and wailing, and he thinks that Allah is not going to be merciful. There's no way that Allah can be merciful. He gives up on the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He said, and this, by acting this way, it increases his trial that he's going through to more calamities upon calamities. And one of the calamities is the fact that the sadness that he comes from that, it causes him to sin. First of all, the Aqidah sin. What's the Aqidah problem? The Qadr. His understanding of Qadr. Then from that, being depressed, cause you to what? Maybe do drugs. Maybe just say, I'm just going to go and get with this girl. I'm going to pick up this 40 ounce, this cigarette. I was in Egypt, I heard somebody tell me, he said, I know cigarettes haram, but I'm stressed. Egyptian boy. We stressed out by the condition of the country, what's going on, we stressed out. There's no ista'inu bis-sabr was-salat. There's no seek aid from patience and prayers, none of that. But a Newport and a Marlboro, that's what you're going to seek patience from. A Newport and a Marlboro. And he says that the Prophet ﷺ, he said, Inna Allah idha habba qawmin ibtilahum. If Allah loves the people, He tests them. It's not the other way around. That if you're being tested, Allah doesn't love you. In fact, it's a sign that Allah loves you. You should be afraid when you're not being tested, when everything goes your way. Then he said, فَمَنْ رَضِيَ فَلَهُ رِضَى. And who's patient and pleased. Now, Shaykh bin Baz said it doesn't mean that he's necessarily pleased with going through stuff, because the person is sad, but he's pleased that his Lord tested him, that his sins are being removed, that he knows that his Lord is going to, after this test is over, that the reward for it is paradise. He's pleased that his Lord took him through it. So much so the Salaf used to say they wouldn't ask for the thing to end, because they were better when they were going through the ibtila. So, and they said that one of the Salaf said that he would make dua for the same thing for 20 years and he would never give a hope that Allah was going to answer him. We make dua for 2 days, we give up. 2 days, after we give up. Allah's not going to answer me. Ayub was in a condition for 20 years. Alayhi salam. He's in the same condition. And he never thought that Allah wasn't going to take him out of it. I mean, he had boils on his skin. His skin was turning green and black. They left him on a junk pile. But he never thought that Allah wasn't going to answer him. And then on top, look at his manners with his Lord. He said, something small has touched me. But us though, subhanAllah, we lose a job, you know, we lose a miswak. I can't believe I just lost this miss. I just bought it. Mess around, the brother be like, okay, it's all right, just get another one. First of all, Shaykh, mess around, start arguing with the brother. Huh? we know us, huh? Come on, Shaykh, we know us, huh? May Allah help us, huh? We know us, huh? We know our condition. وَمَنْ سَخَطَ فَعَلَيْهِ سَخَطْ. And whoever becomes angry because of it, and boisterous because of it, then he got the anger of Allah on him. So you're going to find it's going to be nothing but misery upon misery for acting this way. Then he said, وَأَعْدَمَ النَّاسِ بَلَاءً أَنْبِيَاء ثُمَّ أَمْثَلُوا وَفَالْأَمْثَلُوا. Then he says, for the greatest people who are tested are the Anbiya, and then those who are like them, and those who are like them. So if you're going through some serious stuff, then Allah only tests those whom He loves. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows that you can handle it. So much so, it's narration that Sheikh Muqsim mentioned to me before, Hafizullah. He said that at the end, you know, when you're at this point, you're like, man, I don't know how I'm doing this, how that's going to happen. You ain't giving up, but as a human, you're like, man, this is rough. Allah smiles because He knows He already created the relief. Allah smiles because He already knows. And Allah, not like how we smile, Allah, there's nothing like Allah. And Allah smiles according to Him, His who He is. Right? And then He says, فَإِنْ أَصَابَهُ خَيْرٌ طَمَأَنَّ بِهِ. Look at the human being though. When the human being touches him from good, right? That he's, you know, man, Allah loves me. His heart is at rest. وَإِنْ أَصَابَتْهُ فِتْنَةٌ إِنْقَلَبَ عَلَى وَجْهِهِ. As soon as he tested with something, he turns around his heels. You only see the brother in the masjid no more. Huh? He ain't prayed in the Jama'at. We ain't seen him. Next time you see him, he's spacewalking out here. Got marks on his arms. We done robbed a bank. We done did some haram. I done heard brothers say, man, I'm selling drugs, but I'm just trying to get my family out of here. You want to use drugs to do that? I was with Egypt, brother was over there with $80,000. Brother was dead, but he got it from selling drugs. 2 months later, he was broke back in America. He wasn't patient. And he turned away from Allah's religion. Because when you don't give him from the dunya, people that's all they about, they get upset and leave, and they step off. خَسِرَ الدُّنْيَا وَآخِرَةً. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said they lost this life and the next. They lost this life and the next. وَذَلِكَ هُوَ خُسْرَانُ مُبِينٌ. That is a clear loss. They lost this life. Anything he's ever done from good, from sunnah, from praying, from fasting, got removed from him. And in the hereafter, he had nothing but the hellfire. That's a manifest loss. Who you think in the best position? The one who's practicing Islam here in Gotham, down here in North Philly, in poverty, or the one sitting with trillions of dollars in a big house on an island somewhere who doesn't have Islam?
Down here in Kensington.
Down here in Kensington. He's in a better position. Even though sometimes you go outside, you may be like, I can't believe it. Nah, sometimes you do that. You go outside, you be like, yeah, Kareem. The brother, no, I do it all the time. Yeah, Kareem. Oh, generous one. What's going on? But actually, we're in a better position than somebody who has nothing but trillions of dollars.
They may be miserable.
Exactly. فالدنيا ليست دائما نعيما مذلات سرور ونصر وليس دائما هكذا. Said the dunya is not forever. It's not a continuous blessed thing, continuous happiness. It's not. It's up and it's down. Shaykh Fawzaan is saying, Allahu yudawiluha bayna ibad. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. I remember being in Egypt, up. Had Sheikh Mahmoud, had Sheikh Muqsin, living in a Muslim country. You know, outwardly I was up, dunya wise. I was chilling, relaxing. Down was getting called. Then Allah said it's time for something else to happen. He put back to the States, right? Started off here down. Then Allah changed that. Got me in the field of dawah. Got me, I'm in the masjid now with our brother Abu Zayd. Allah got us combating an ill and a sickness that's destroying our community. Allah goes like this, and things go like that. But our brother Hanif, may Allah preserve him. Now it's his turn to be in Egypt. Look at that. Look how Allah. والصحابة أفضل أمة ماذا جرى عليهم من الابتلاء والامتحان. They were the best of this ummah. What did they go through? Nothing but test. But you say, man, I believe, man. Allah taking me through this. I don't deserve this. The Kafir got this. The Kafir got that. The Kafir had the same thing. Rome and Persia was more powerful financially and dunya-wise than the Sahaba. They had technology and everything. The Roman army was all that, Sheikh. They were the Americans back then. They had the military might. They had technology. They had the arrow shooters, the chariots. And the Sahaba gave them that business. Beat them, Sheikh. With little tiny horses and small swords. Beat them. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Tilka ayyamu nudawiluha bayna nasi. In these days that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says He rotates them between people. Rotated. Good, bad. Bad, good. Okay, not okay. Up, down. Everybody gets to see it. And He says, إِذَا أَذْنَبَ إِسْتَغْفَرَ. And He says, for the one who sins, for another sign of happiness, that he always asks for forgiveness. A lot of us, I call it the Bani Israel complex. We think we chosen people, shit. We don't know. I'm Muslim, I got a key in. Right? I'm Muslim, I'm getting in. Hadith said that nobody has a mustard iman in his chest, gonna be in the hellfire, stay in the hellfire. I'm in. Who says you're gonna die with a mustard seed iman in your chest? So, not unless you got a contract with your Lord that we don't know about. If you do, please show me how to get it. I would love to know how you got that contract, so maybe I can get the same contract. And he says, أما الذي إذا أذنب لا يستغفر سيستزيد من ذنوب فهذا الشقي. He said, as for the one who sins and doesn't ask for forgiveness, he does nothing but increase in dhunub, then this person is in misery. Because sin has a physical effect. You ever seen somebody that they sinning as a Muslim and they sinning, and you see him when he wasn't out there, and then you see him months or a year or so later that he out there now, the change in his way he looks. His features look different. You be like, dang, he was one of them creature features. But like a horror movie, huh? Seriously, you be like, what happened to the brother, Shaykh? Like a vampire, right? Like a vampire bit him on the neck, Shaykh. فأعوذ بالله لكن العبد مؤمن كلما صدر منه ذنب بادر بالتوبة. He said, as for the believing slave, every time a sin comes from him, you see him rush to Tawbah. Automatically. I can't believe I just did that. And he feels it. Not somebody just, man, you know, man, I'm human. Ain't no such thing as a perfect person. You be talking like that. Ain't no such thing as a perfect person. The perfect person died. I heard people say, well, the perfect man died 1,438 years ago. 1,438 years ago. SubhanAllah. That's the excuse you're going to use in front of Allah. I wasn't the Prophet Muhammad. You're going to say that to Allah? Yawm al-Qiyamah, when Allah asks you about your sins, your book is taken out. Ikra kitabik. Right? You're going to say to Allah that I wasn't the Prophet alayhi salatu salam when you got to meet him for your sins? That's going to hold weight. Subhanallah wa bihamdi. May Allah forgive us. وَالَّذِينَ إِذَا فَعَلُوا فَاحِشَةً أَوْ ظَلَمُوا أَنفُسَهُمْ ذَكَرُوا اللَّهَ فَاسْتَغْفَرُوا لِذُنُوبِهِمْ وَمَنْ يَغْفِرُ الذُّنُوبَ إِلَّا اللَّهُ. And those, when they do a sin or evil and some oppression, when they oppress themselves, they remember Allah. And they automatically فَاسْتَغْفِرُوا, the fast. Did he say وَاسْتَغْفِرُوا? فَاسْتَغْفِرُوا. Automatically, they ask Allah to forgive them from their sins. And whoever, وَمَنْ يَغْفِرُ الذُّنُوبَ إِلَّا اللَّهُ. And no one forgives sins except who? Allah Azza wa Jal. Surah Al Imran 135. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he says, إِنَّمَا التَّوْبَةُ عَلَى اللَّهِ لِلَّذِينَ يَعْمَلُونَ السُّوءَ بِجَحَالَةٍ ثُمَّ يَتُوبُونَ مِنْ قَرِيبٍ. And he says that verily Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, إِنَّ التَّوْبَةُ عَلَى اللَّهِ, that a slave that Allah forgives, or his tawbah is upon those who, when they do a fahisha or a sin out of ignorance, then they do what? ثُمَّ يَتُوبُ مِنْ قَرِيبٍ. And they automatically what? Make tawbah. They don't wait 3 days to make tawbah. They don't, I'm gonna make tawbah next Jum'ah. Make the Ramadan, make tawbah from being with this girl. No, they don't. And tawbah not just you keep making tawbah, you keep going back the next night though. You fornicated Maghrib, you make tawbah Eesaa. As soon as Eesaa, you back over to Mika house. No. That's not tawbah. That's not tawbah, Shaykh. Tawbah is you leave the sin. That's part of it. And he says, وَجَحَالَ لَيْسَ مَعْنَاهَا عَدَمَ الْعِلْمِ. Shaykh Fawzaan brought a good benefit here. He said, ignorance here doesn't mean that a person doesn't have knowledge. I mean, it doesn't mean that you think he's just an ignorant person, have no understanding of Islam. No, it doesn't mean that. He said, لأن جاهل لا يؤخذ لكن الجهالة هنا في ضد الحلم في كل ما عصى الله فهو جاهل بمعنى ناقص الحلم وناقص العقلية. He said here, it doesn't mean being ignorant of legislation or ignorant of issues of Islam. Here, ignorance means that a person doesn't have any intellect at the moment. He doesn't have any wisdom. Because really to sin, to disobey Allah, is lack of wisdom and intellect. Allah is watching you, akhi. But you still commit. Imagine that. If you've thought about it, that when you go and you do a sin, and as you're doing it, Allah is watching you still like, I got this, you got the alcohol in your hand. You know Allah watching you. That takes a lack of intellect, akhi, and a lack of wisdom. Knowing that is a punishment for it. And the intellect comes in the fact that you know He's watching you. SubhanAllah, may Allah make us from those who have some intellect and some wisdom in our behavior. Allahumma ameen. And he also naqis insaniyya. And he also said it's also a decreasement of your humanity. Because sin turns you into an animal. Because even monkeys don't like adulterers. Monkeys stone the adulterers. Monkeys. If somebody commit adultery in the monkey community, the monkeys stone them. But we don't, though. Not even we're worse than monkeys. Wallahi. Kal'an'am bil adall. Like cattle. Even more straight than cattle, the human being. Even though he has intellect. What? فَقَدْ يَكُونُ عَالِمًا لَكِنَّهُ جَاهِلٌ مِنْ نَاحِيَةٍ أُخْرَى. And he may be from those who are knowledgeable, but he's ignorant from another point of view. مِنْ نَاحِيَةٍ أَنْ لَيْسَ عِنْدَهُ حِلْمٌ وَإِثْبَاتٌ فِي أُمُورٍ. Maybe he doesn't have wisdom, or he's not firm in particular issues. Not firm. ثُمَّ يَتُوبُ مِنْ قَرِيبٍ يعني كُلَّمَا أَذْنَبُوا اسْتَغْفَرُوا مَا هُنَاكَ أَحَدٌ مَعْصُومٌ مِنَ الذُّنُوبِ. He says, meaning that he makes tawbah from at that point. He doesn't wait long to make tawbah. That means every time he makes a mistake, he asks Allah to forgive him, because there is nobody who is free from making a sin. There's nobody free from making a sin. There's no such thing. Don't think because we're here, we teaching, we're on the minbar, that means that we're ma'soom. There's nobody ma'soom. Huh? The Anbiya and Muslims were ma'soom from committing certain acts and staying upon acts. They were ma'soom from fornication and alcoholism and lying and cheating and these types of things. Okay, but we're talking about the human being outside the Anbiya and Muslims. And the reason they were made ma'soom, because that wouldn't go along with the message. Nobody would accept the message from you. You're a liar and a drunk and a thief and a criminal and a fornicator. Nobody's going to accept your message. So they were made ma'soom from those things. Then he says, Alhamdulillah, anna Allah fataha bab tawbah fa'ala al-'abd idha adhnaba an yubadira bit-tawbah lakin idha lam yatub la yastaghfir hadhihi 'alamat ash-shaqa. And he says, Alhamdulillah, that the bab of tawbah, the bab of asking Allah to forgive him, is open to the slave if he makes mistakes, and he goes right to it. He runs right to that door. But if he doesn't make tawbah and he doesn't ask Allah to forgive him, then this is a sign that he's a person of misery. Now, if a person commits sins and never asks Allah to forgive him, Muslim, and he dies like that, what happens? Because Shaykh Fawzaan didn't mention that, but he's mentioned his other works. What happens to a Muslim, fornicator, alcoholic, a robber, all of that, and he dies upon those sins? Does he leave Islam? Who says he leaves Islam? Raise the hand. Does he leave Islam? You say leaves Islam, you say leaves Islam. Who said he doesn't leave Islam?
He died.
No, now he died, right? A Muslim. Right?
He was doing sin.
Every sin you can imagine, probably. Right?
He's not a Muslim doing sin.
Right? No, he's Muslim.
But he's not a Muslim doing sin.
No, he is a Muslim as he's doing the sin. Those hadith that say that his iman leaves him while he can't be a believer while you fornicate, that means naqas iman, that his iman is deficient, as the Sahaba and the ulama have explained. Right? I'm saying a Muslim, he dies upon being a drug dealer. Let's put it close to home because that's what we living in. He dies being a drug dealer, selling heroin, sleeping with women, listening to music. He dies on that. And he never made tawbah from any of that. Does he leave Islam? When he died, did he die a kafir? You say laws know best. You said he does. Who else says that he does? He dies a kafir. You said he dies a kafir. Who says that he doesn't die a kafir? He doesn't die a kafir. He's not a kafir. Right? Because sins don't make you what? He's under what? What is he under? He's under the will of Allah. Allah may forgive him, which he doesn't go to the hellfire at all, maybe. Or maybe Allah will punish him with the hellfire to clean what from him? The sin, because sins are burned away from the fire. The only thing the fire doesn't burn away is shirk. As Sheikh Muqsim Maluk explained to me before, he said it's like a rusty pipe. If it's rusted inwardly all the way through, doesn't matter how many times you clean it, it's rusted all the way through. The cleaner can't clean the pipe. You got to throw it away. That's what shirk does to the human being. He's like the rusty pipe. You can't clean it. It's done. You got to throw it out. That's what shirk does. That's what being a pagan does. You got to throw it out. And the hadith, so we can have the proof. He says, the hadith, O son of Bani Adam, La ataytini bi kharab al-ard khataya. If you come to me with the earth full of what? Sins. ولا تشرك بي شيئا لأتيتك بمثله مغفرة. بِمِثْلِهَا مَغْفِرَةً. Right? He says, O son of Adam, if you came to me with the earth full of sins, meaning the whole earth, there wasn't a spot on the earth that wasn't full with your sins. And you died, not making partners with me in my worship, that I will come to you on a day of judgment with a similar amount of forgiveness. Right? Another narration, we'll stop here. The 99 scrolls. This proof against the Khawarij and all those people who say that a Muslim who sins is not a Muslim anymore. 99 scrolls, as far as the eye can see, Madd al-Basar. His eyes, so you go outside right now, right? And you look straight down Kingston Avenue. As far as your eyes can see, that's how long your scrolls could be. 99 scrolls. 99 of them. They were full of his sins, though. Right? So it was asked to him, do you have any way of arguing with this? You have anything? He said, no. Oh, my Lord, I don't have anything. I don't know how I'm arguing with this. What am I going to do? Right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, you do have something with us. You won't be oppressed this day. So a card was brought out. And on this card was written, La ilaha illallah. So the man say, what is this card? Ma sajilat. What is this card compared to these 99 scrolls? This one card to 99 scrolls? So the card is going to be placed on one part of the mizan. When we say the mizan, we don't change the meaning, make it metaphoric. Ahlul Sunnah, we believe it's a real scale. With scales. Real scales. And things going to be weighed on it. Actions going to be turned to weight. How do we know? The man, the fat man, his weight going to be like a mosquito. That's how we know things are going to be weighed. It's Aqeedah of Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah. So, there's 99 scrolls put on one side, the card on the other. When the card is placed there, the book's going to be thrown in the air. Because nothing outweighs the name of Allah. So don't give up on the mercy of Allah. Don't give up. No matter what you've done, as Shaykh Fawzaan said in one of his audios, no matter what the sin is, ask Allah to forgive you for it. No matter what it is. If a Christian can turn away from worshiping Allah, Allah mentioned in Surah Al-Ma'idah that he said, if you're going to forgive, they're your bad if you're going to forgive them. Allah can forgive shirk. If a person asks for forgiveness, then what about something less than that? Because shirk is forgiven as long as you don't die on it. So what about something less than that? So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive us all for our sins. And inshallah, the next class, we'll start the first, we didn't even start the first principle yet, but some more the introduction. And inshallah, I will introduce some of the benefit in here. I will introduce some statements of Shaykh Muqsim Ma'luk, where he went over some of these issues. There were some things he went over that brings a little bit more, light to it, with Shaykh Fawzaan's statement. And inshallah ta'ala will benefit that way, inshallah ta'ala. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.